What's good, y'all? What's up? It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. And as we continue with Daily December, I want to read a little thread that came from Threads. I saw it via Facebook. If you don't know what Threads is, I guess it's like an extra form of, I don't want to say social media. It's like, I don't know, another branch of social media, if you will, between Facebook, Instagram, and X and whatnot. And this one I thought was very interesting because we are approaching the end of the year, and there's a message that I want to get out to everybody as we approach towards the end of the year. Something that I think is very, very important for all of us to hear, if you will. But before I get into that message, which is going to be very brief, I'm going to go ahead and read what this guy has to say. I want to give a shout out to Koubrowne or Koubrowne. I'm going to say it's Koubrowne, just in case you guys want to follow him on Threads. And he gave a very interesting perspective of life. I'm going to go ahead and read what he says. He said, there's a scene in the movie Ray that shook me to my core. If you don't know what the movie Ray is, it's a movie that came out in the mid-2000s about Ray Charles. And Jamie Foxx, he plays the role of Ray Charles in the film. Shout out to Jamie Foxx, by the way. He killed that role, okay? When I say killed, I mean slaughtered it. Did an amazing job with it. But the scene goes as follows. He says, young Ray Charles, we all know Ray Charles is blind, but young Ray Charles is losing his sight. He's terrified, stumbling around in darkness, calling out for his mama. But she doesn't answer. She's standing right there, watching him struggle. At first, it feels heartless. How could a mother just stand by and watch her child suffer? But then something incredible happens. Ray realizes she's not going to help him. He stops yelling and starts listening. He hears the creak of a rocking chair, the chirp of a cricket, the shuffle of his own feet. His ears become his eyes. And just like that, he figures out. He moves. He adapts. He starts living in the dark. Sorry, y'all, give me a second. Okay. His mama, she's in the corner silently crying. You can tell it's killing her not to step in. She wants to help her baby so bad. But she knows if she steps in, he'll never discover his strength. And in that moment, young Ray taps into something that was always there. Something that had been lying dormant. When he's done, he pauses. He says it. I know you're there, mama. That scene wrecked me because it reminded me of how God deals with us. Sometimes he just lets us struggle, not because he abandoned us, but because he's preparing us. He knows the strength we've got inside. He knows what we're capable of, but we'll never tap into it if he steps in every time we fall. I've been that kid crying out, God, where are you? Why won't you fix this? The silence was deafening, but looking back, those were the moments I grew the most. When I stopped crying out and dug deep. When I tapped into strength I didn't know I had. And just like that, I realized God was there the whole time. Here's the truth. God's silence isn't him leaving you. It's him equipping you. Sometimes he has to let us stumble so we can step into who we're meant to be. He's always there, watching in love. But he knows we have to take the step ourselves. If you're in a season of silence, hear me. God hasn't left you. You're stronger than you think. There's more in you than you know. And when you come out on the other side, you'll realize he was guiding you the whole time. All right. And I didn't read the comments for this because there was really no need. I mean, there's no need to see how people respond to this because it was an amazing lesson. And shout out to the brother. Shout out to this brother. He did an amazing job. And I think that's a very good analyzation of how sometimes in life it seems like we're at a standstill when the reality is we're not. You might be on the other side of the fence right now thinking to yourself, I'm just working. I'm just working. I'm just working. And it seems like nothing is happening the way you would like it to happen, right? Well, I'm here to remind you that that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it's simply that God is equipping you, or he might even be working behind the scenes, and you don't even know what's going to happen yet. So I encourage anybody, because I've definitely been in a season of silence, if you will. I wouldn't say this is my season of silence, but this is definitely my season of always looking ahead to see what's next. And I've definitely had some shortcomings, much like some of you guys who are watching this video have had your own fair shortcomings yourselves. And my encouragement to all of y'all is to keep fighting the good fight, even when you don't hear any directions. Sometimes as an instructor, I got to let my students struggle a little bit, right? Especially when it comes time for the tests. They might be like, well, mister, what is this? And I'm like, hey, do the best you can. And they get scared because they're like, oh, crap. I don't know this. But sometimes you don't realize that you fumbling around in the dark is the way that you learn certain things. I'm not saying that's always going to be the case. But the overall point of this lesson is to show you that even when you don't hear nothing, that doesn't mean he ain't there. Like I said, much like me being an instructor, just because I don't say nothing, don't mean I ain't there. Just because I'm not going to assist you at this time does not mean that I'm not behind the scenes giving you the assistance that you need, or prepared to give you the assistance for that matter. So anybody who's had a rough year this year, or maybe you just feel like God has not been speaking to me, I've been in my word, I've been praying diligently, I've been going about living a righteous life, and I just don't hear anything, let me encourage you that he's still there. He's listening. He hears you. And again, just because you don't hear anything from him or don't see any signs does not mean that he's abandoned you. It does not mean he's not working behind the scenes for your benefit. Because if there's one thing I know about God, God is not only an on-time God, but he's a behind-the-scenes God. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna always do things in front of your face. Sometimes he's watching like a father, because he is our father. And one thing that fathers do is they don't be picking up their children every time they fall. They let them fall and they're standing there like, come on, son. Come on, daughter. Get up. Come on. You got it. They are there for encouragement, and they are there for discipline. And a part of that discipline is allowing you to make your own mistakes and choices while they're there to guide you on the right path. And that's how God operates. So when he's silenced, that doesn't mean he's disappointed. That doesn't mean he's abandoning you. It simply means that he wants you to lift yourself up by your own strength, or it can also mean that he's working some stuff out and he's not saying anything, but in his mind, he's like, I got you. I know you're struggling. Don't worry. It's going to make sense in the long run. I know you've been having issues. It's going to make sense. I know you've been heartbroken. I promise you're going to heal. I know that you've been having trouble financially, but you're doing the best that you can with getting out of that. I got something for you. I know that you are in a position of hardship. Don't worry. The times are going to come easy. I know right now you're in the valley. Don't worry. That mountain is coming soon. I know that you are at the point of your life where you don't feel like you can push anymore. Don't worry. I got you. I know you can't see me. I know you can't hear me. I'm behind you. And I'm not trying to turn this into church. I'm just here to let you know that I'm here with you. I get it. Again, this hasn't been my silent season, but this has definitely been a season where I've been faced with trials and tribulations and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Trust the process. God ain't never left me in a place where I was abandoned, where he wasn't somewhere nearby. And I want to extend that same level of encouragement to you. Love you guys. Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. The year's almost over. Keep pushing, all right? And push in that right direction to start off the next year strong. And remember, he got your back. I got your back. We got your back. Peace. See you when you get back.